Hi and welcome to my garden larder. Today lots of exciting things going on in the garden. It's partway through June, about a third of the way through June, pretty close to midsummer, and there's all sorts of exciting things happening, mainly because the weather's been really kind this year after a really bad year last year. So we've had quite a bit of rain. We've also had a lot of sunshine, so the weeds have gone haywire, but equally the vegetables are doing really, really well. And today I'm going to have my first harvest of broad beans, which is just, I love broad beans, so they're my first sign of summer really. So I know they're ready because I've had a good feel of their pods, as you do, and they're a nice plump broad beans. I can feel them in there. And also the beans are starting to hang down, because when they start growing, they grow quite upright, and as they approach being ready to harvest, they start to droop down. I've also obviously plumped up really nicely with all this rain, so I'm going to pick a good harvest of those. I think today is quite a lot. They're interspersed with rogue potatoes. Rogue potatoes because this garden is fairly new to me. This is my second season, and I've been rescuing it from about 15 years of neglect from the previous people who were quite elderly and couldn't manage it anymore. So last season I was really bunging things in wherever I'd made room and made a bed, and I put some potatoes from the bottom of the fridge. They were little potatoes that had started to go to seed, and I popped them in here. And they were pronounced the most delicious potatoes ever by my eldest son. And they have, as potatoes have a want to do, popped up again this year. And I've let them do it actually, because although I have a huge potato crop here, they're supporting the broad beans quite nicely. So normally I would string the broad beans to stop them falling over, but the potatoes have done the job for me and I can eat them. So that's just perfect. So broad beans today, I've got two plans for them. First of all, I'm going to make a broad bean and mint hummus, because I've also got lots of mint ready to pick in the garden. And a broad bean hummus is the most delicious thing, because and I love a chickpea hummus as well, but here you're using fresh green beans, fresh from the pod, fresh mint, lemon juice, and it's absolutely delicious with all the usual things you'd have. So pita bread on sourdough with carrot sticks, alongside anything actually. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can use it in pasta, it's fantastic. So I'm going to be making that one for you. And then I'm also going to make a midsummer salad. I love potato salad, slightly warm potato salad, with fresh new potatoes, and my first early potatoes here are ready for rummaging and revealing to the world. So I'm going to have some of those, some of the broad beans, some of the mint, and some of the other herbs I've got around the garden, some of the lettuce I've got down here which is ready for chomping on, and probably some beetroot leaves. Beetroot leaves, the little ones, are fantastic in salads, and the larger leaves you can also pick off and use, as long as you leave enough for the beetroot to keep growing. You can use those in stews and casserole, anything you like. We had them in a lovely stew last night, really gorgeous. But that reminds me, lots and lots of crops in the garden give you two crops for the price of one. So even if you're gardening in a very small space, you can get good value out of one crop giving you several different meals. And for example, the broad beans, I should be picking out these tops later on, just the top of the broad bean, like that, and stir frying those along with a few other vegetables for our dinner tonight, because they're absolutely yummy. And by doing that, it also serves to protect the crop a bit, because I've just noticed we're just beginning to get some black fly come in, which really like the soft, juicy tips of things like broad beans. So if you pop those off, it discourages them from making too much damage. And equally, you get two crops for the price of one with beetroot, because obviously you get the lovely, delicious root, but also you can be picking its leaves quite a long time before you harvest what's underneath. So, two recipes today for the price of one, and two crops for the price of one. It's pretty good. Okay, we need an onion, some potatoes, some lettuce, some baby beetroot leaves from underneath all these enormous ones, mint and nasturtiums. Oh, and the leaves. I'm going to have a couple of leaves. And, of course, broad beans. So these are the dishes that I've made with the broad beans that I harvested this morning and all the other vegetables that I went to find. I've made two things, as I said I would, and the first one is a broad bean and mint hummus, which is absolutely delicious. It's so fresh, and it's made with the fresh broad beans from the garden, skins on. You don't need to fiddle with them, so just take them out of the big pod and then pop them into a food processor with some tahini, some fresh mint, some olive oil, a little bit of garlic, and some lemon juice, salt and pepper, and a little bit of water to thin it if you need it, so you can get it to the texture that you like. And it's absolutely delicious. It's fantastic with the crackers that I'm going to have in a minute. Alongside that, I did a what I call a midsummer salad, because it's full of the things that are just coming into ripeness, ready to harvest now as we approach midsummer. So we've got the first of the new potatoes. Excuse my black fingernail, by the way. When you pod broad beans, your fingers go black, and they stay black for a little while. I don't really know why. I'm sure there's a scientific reason. If you know what it is, can you let me know in a comment below? Thank you. So excuse that, it's not mud, it's broad bean juice. So we've got new potatoes, broad beans, which again I've left them in their little cases, took them out of the big pod, left them in little cases, some peas, some red onion, some onion tops. So this, when you grow your own onions, you can take them fresh from the ground before the stalks dry, and then you can use the onion tops, which are like a mild, they're just absolutely yummy actually. They're like spring onions but milder, and absolutely delicious. So I've got some of those in there. I've got some mint in there. I've got just a really simple dressing of a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, some lemon juice and salt and pepper, because I don't want to hide the lovely flavours of the vegetables with anything else. I mean, I might put a bit of Dijon mustard in, but I didn't on this occasion. And I think that's everything I've got in there, but it's delicious. If you want to, you can take these little jackets off the broad beans to reveal the lovely green pod inside, and you just literally pinch the top and then squeeze them out, and they're delicious, really, really good. But so are the pods. So I just put the whole thing in. It's not as pretty, but it is really tasty. And alongside that, I've got the lovely salad leaves. Oh, hello bee, do you want to get my nasturtium? It's good timing. The lovely salad leaves, the beetroot leaves, and the nasturtium flowers that I picked this morning. And as you can see, it's very popular. It really is. Having a go in nasturtium. Look at that. That's fantastic. In you go. Oh, bless it. So there we go. And that's everything I could make the broad beans today. I've got lots of other recipes of the broad beans, which hopefully I can share with you over the coming weeks. And for all the other vegetables that I'm growing currently in the garden, me and my little friend the bee say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen today, please subscribe, pop a like down below, maybe leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate it.